Hello, I'm MCPE and welcome back to the Minecraft news videos. They have some pretty good news to share with you if you like Minecraft Java Edition and you want to see that combat come to console or to Bedrock, because it looks like they're working on a combat update v2. If you don't know, the new combat that was added in 1.9 for the PC was perhaps the most controversial thing Minecraft has ever added on any platform. It seriously split the community, and because of that they never added it to the Bedrock or to the console editions. However, it looks like now they're finally going to be working on a new version of combat, one that should hopefully appease the community, and I want to talk about what we know about it and more in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy. Please do like this if you do like it, because it helps out the channel and lets us know you do like Minecraft news. But let's get straight into it, shall we? And we're going to start with some Java Edition stuff, because we have some really good solid Minecraft Java news, and then some really good symbolic news if you're scared about that version of the game. And then we can move on to the stuff that covers Minecraft as a whole. So with that said, let's get straight into the Java stuff, which starts with Dinnerbone, or Nathan Adams, on Twitter. He's one of the lead developers for Minecraft Java, and he said, "We decided to release one last pre-release 1.13-pre-10 to add a optimized world, bulk update old worlds to newer format button, and fix a bunch of major issues. It's building for release now, and then the update released just before this video went live, so that means that, yeah, there is a 1.13 pre-10. They've smashed the update for most pre-releases for a single update, but it looks like it's the very last one, because they're now pretty sure they're going to be releasing the update tomorrow. You know, there's very little that could happen between now and then to stop that, so basically 1.13 is definitely confirmed for tomorrow, and that's going to be a lot of fun to explore. So yeah, because 1.13 is going to be a bit different as far as the aquatic update on other platforms. It's the biggest aquatic update, and it's a really, you know, it's a really cool thing to see that the Java version is getting the biggest version of the update. Also, they had the most pre-releases they've ever had with 10, and that's just a fun thing to start with. And then we have the symbolic good piece of news, which comes in from Rock and Roll for Life. He was a Minecraft Bedrock developer, and the reason I bring this up is because, you know, a lot of people say that Minecraft, you know, the Microsoft team are trying to kill the Java edition slowly, and although it's easy to work out the motive behind them wanting to do that, it's not really founded in too much evidence we have in the flesh, and I feel like this is one of the best examples, because this is a really good symbolic move where one of the Minecraft Bedrock developers has said in this tweet right here that he's looking forward to exploring the city of Stockholm and starting work on the Java edition of Minecraft. That's right, one of the Minecraft Bedrock developers quit or was transferred to working on Minecraft Java edition over in Stockholm instead, and that's a really big deal, especially when you consider how few developers there are on Java. So this is a big increase in the capacity they can do as a studio, and it does go to show that they really do care about Java, or at least, you know, they're doing a lot of things that act like they're caring about Java, which is, you know, better than, you know, caring about it. Like, you know, what do you care if a company cares about something? You care if a company does actions, and in this case, they definitely did. So, point for Microsoft on that one. Really good news if you play Java, or if you just like the idea of Java existing, so people can still play the version of the game, which is best in terms of no microtransactions, and also has the best server community. So, with that said, let's move into the, you know, Minecraft new combat news, because this is something that kind of came out. It's almost a little bit secret, so a lot of people haven't seen this. It's kind of a week old, but it's been developing over that week, because for the last few years, there's been this huge debate in the Minecraft Bedrock community and Minecraft console community as to, like, whether new combat should come to those platforms. The big argument in favor of it is shields would come with it, and the big argument against it is people that don't want the split community, like happened with the Java. One of the big, deathliest things that happened with Java was having the games community split in half, so they've been very cautious about doing anything new combat related. You know, dual wielding came a lot later to Bedrock, and it was only for like 4 or 5 items. They really want to do a slow rollout of new combat on these platforms, and therefore they want to, you know, change it a bit, tweak it a bit, and make sure that it's actually, you know, a system that everyone can get behind first. So because of that, they keep on announcing that they're going to do something, then they kind of pull back, but this time it looks like they're really serious, because Aubrey Norris responded to a tweet about the new combat that just last week and said, "We know the Redmond team is literally game jamming on combat this week. We aren't going to just rush out a change that might make things even worse to say that we did something. It needs to be thoughtfully done the right way, which will take time. Thanks for understanding." And on the surface, this does seem like a tweet where they're just saying like, "Oh yeah, we'll get round to it soon, it's all good." Like, you know, there's a lot of things that are being delayed slowly like that, like super duper graphics, but in this case, this, you know, is very specifically saying they're game jamming on combat this week. So if you assume that this week means all of last week through to Friday, and maybe even a little bit beyond that, let's say, what they've been doing is they've been working on new combat. And if you've never heard the term game jamming before, it's usually described to, you know, develop a whole new games where you try to make a whole new game within either 24, 48, 72 hours, any time zone works, but it's basically making games real quick. So they're going to be making a lot of different combat iterations. A lot of different developers, I assume, are going to be working on different combat designs, and, you know, either making them into the game, having full-on working prototypes, or they're going to have like fully fleshed out ideas for the game, and the team as a whole are going to decide. I feel like this might be a really good idea, because rather than just having, you know, one new system of combat and the old combat, because again, new combat on PC, not great. Old combat, it has its a billion flaws still, which just aren't addressed. So because of that, and, you know, they had 2 choices, and they, you know, it's kind of still makes sense to pick the new over the old, rather than having that really interesting kind of, you know, issue, why not make a whole bunch of different designs and then pick the very best. That seems to be what they're doing, and it sounds like a really great idea. And you know, even like kind of proving this a little bit beyond that is that Tanner Pearson, who's one of the Minecraft Bedrock developers, you might recall him because he worked on the new water, has actually been talking about it on Twitter as well. So the same week he says, so if you were given the opportunity to design the combat from Minecraft from scratch, how would you do it? Describe it, don't give me a version number, imagine this is the first version of combat for the game. So it looks like they really are doing some rewriting from scratch, and just so this isn't misleading, I want to be 100% clear, Tanner Pearson is not working on the new combat. These whole, you know, these feedback ideas aren't going to be like making stuff magic, because here you can see the response to someone who asks, are they revamping the combat system though? By saying, people are looking into it, I am not a part of the process though. So a lot of people are looking into it, you know, people plural, not person, and it sounds quite exciting that they're going to be kind of working it either from scratch or nearly from scratch, because then we could get a combat system that isn't just better than what we have, it's good, you know, like Minecraft combat, it's not so great. If you ever try playing a server, especially in Minecraft Bedrock, it's like, well, this is just rolling some dice and seeing what happens. I really like the idea of a combat system with a bit of thought to it, a bit of skill, and it sounds like that might be one of the goals they're going for. So yeah, there is going to be new combat. If they're working on the ideas and what, you know, like they're picking out the best ones this week, then it means that they could be as soon as even the next update, 1.6 or 1.7, they could be, you know, in just those updates alone, working on the new combat. That could be one of the big new plans, because obviously 1.6, we haven't seen most of the new features in it so far. We've seen just, you know, phantoms and just barriers, and although it could be the just phantoms and barriers update, it seems more likely they're going to be doing something else as well, and maybe this is going to be their testing ground for new combat. Again, we can't be entirely certain. I would be fairly sure though that the next Java Edition update will include the new combat if they work on it by then. So yeah, what I would say is it looks like new combat is closer than you think, and again, I know a lot of people go crazy about this, but just bear in mind, they want to make it a good combat system, not only for people who play the game regularly, but for PvP players, for people who play servers casually, for people who play a lot of Minecraft. They want to balance all of this stuff out, and I would say that honestly, anything is better than the current combat system, and also that it doesn't take a lot to be better than the 1.9 combat system, and given that people like both those systems quite a lot, then obviously it strikes me as fairly obvious that we're going to get a new combat update that's going to make the game a lot more fun, especially for multiplayer, and hopefully for single player too, you know, stuff like light and heavy attacks, or parries, or all these different fun ideas. There is going to be a new combat update, and I will keep you up to date as soon as we know concrete hard stuff. But I imagine that what we'll actually see is from here, you know, they'll spend some amount of time developing it, maybe, you know, a week, maybe 6 months, and then as soon as it's in the game, they'll just roll it out with a snapshot or with a beta, and then we can kind of give our feedback from there. And I would say, yeah, I'm hyped for this. I would love to play around with new combat, and it's something that I think would make Minecraft a better game just in general. And yeah, a lot of people just, you know, a little thing at the end here, I would say that change in Minecraft seems always bad on the surface. Whenever you have to take something away to give something new, there's always going to be a part of you that's attached to the old thing. This is how every game works. This is how every person works, you know? Like, you break up with someone, it seems like it's the worst thing in the world, but then a few years go by and you have someone new and you're like, oh, that was a weird thing. Same thing with friends, right? Like, how many friends are you still friends with from 10 years ago? You know, those guys sucked, right? And same thing even with pizza, where you're like, I'm never gonna have a pizza as good as this pizza ever again, and then next week, that pizza might just be better than the old pizza. I'm just saying, the way you get improvement in life is with change, and although change can be scary, I would say it's pretty necessary in every aspect of life, and therefore, you know, pro life tip right there, change a thing at least every now and then. If you live the same life forever, then is that even a life lived? I don't believe so. With that said though, I hope you'll enjoy the video. Give it a like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and maybe if you don't normally have notifications turned on, maybe you should change your mind and hit that bell so you can see these videos daily on your homepage. Tomorrow I will be, of course, uploading aquatic update videos because it comes out for the Java. There's going to be a few exclusive weird things and just a few aquatic things I've been meaning to get around to. So lots of aquatic update videos tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned and I'll see you all there. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.